I'm Paulie Ayala. This is Styles Makes Fights, and we are here today with Figo Ramirez.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you, bud. I met Figo a couple years back during the Golden Glove Nationals, on the journey to that. And he was part of the Texas team that made Golden Glove history. There were seven national champions from Texas that year, and Figo was one of them. Just wanted to do an interview, see, talk about all that, see a little bit about yourself, like how long have you been fighting?
Well, I started off fighting 12, but when I first began boxing, I think I was around 10. Well, first I was in soccer, but then that didn't work out, so I came in boxing because of my oldest brother. Well, my second oldest brother and then my third oldest. They started.
So, what was your amateur record?
My amateur record was 60 something and 60 something wins, and then probably like 20 losses. I had overall like 80 something amateur fights.
Wow. Well, let's go back to the Golden Globe Nationals in 2021. So 6 days ago marked the 2 year anniversary of that wonderful experience. I bet, right?
Yeah.
Let's hear what you got to say about what you remember about all that.
Man, that time was really fun with the whole team, and we came out seven national titles. I mean, that was history, and just to be a part of that talent group, it was amazing, and everyone there was super nice. The coaches, the other fighters, we got along really good, like family. We got really close, and yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
I mean, I was there. I was able to see and experience it as well. And there's also been tragedy since that time. The head coach for the Texas team, Joe Guzman. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was in a tragedy, in a murder, and so I mean, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of things that have happened since then, and so let's talk about that. After winning the nationals and stuff, uh, are you where you envision yourself, or where you thought you would be 2 years after?
Yeah, definitely. After Golden Gloves, I knew I wanted to turn pro, and my team knew I was ready. I felt I was ready, and we took some time, to put like learn new things and what I could and improve in, and we did that. And then when was it? It was in Masaplan, my first fight. It was it was a great experience, and it was wild. The fans there, the boxing fans are wild in Masaplan. They were streaming all sorts of things to me, since I was I was away. I was coming to their town and fighting their fighter. And well, everyone was against me, but after the fight, I delivered and everyone started cheering for me, and that was amazing.
So you made some fans on your pro debut out there in Mexico.
Yes.
So how do you feel about fighting professional?
It's I feel really great. You know, it's really different from amateur. Definitely it is. Um, just the whole new like experience. Without the headgear, that's a big thing. The weight, making weight from amateurs to professional, it's totally different. And I feel happy. Being professional, I feel really happy. It's something I always wanted to do, and now
So now, with being pro 3-0, what do you feel your biggest struggle or challenges on this journey?
um probably the biggest struggle is finding fights, but I'm learning to stay patient. Whatever comes my way, I'm gonna be ready for it. I'm gonna train for it. I'm mentally and physically, I'm gonna be ready for it. So just being patient. That's
So are you signed with anyone, or y'all just
no.
or managed by anyone?
Right now I'm not signed to anyone, but my coach Hector Beltran, he's been helping, and my other coaches, Carlos and Kaiser, and even Big Virgil. They've been helping me. Talk around. Trying to get me fights and sponsors and all that. And yeah.
So you have experienced guys that are, I mean, that at least have been in the game, especially with Virgil, his father. I mean,
Yeah.
he's Virgil Ortiz. So, what has been the biggest benefit or the highlight of your pro career?
Hmm. Just probably going to train with top fighters of the world in LA. That was just sparring with them and learning from them and training with them. The workouts they do and everything. It was great, and that's something that I'll never forget, and I would want to keep on doing. Just to improve myself.
Yeah, that experience that you get when being where you're at as a prospect, and then being able to spar these guys that are already there.
Yeah.
It gives you a chance to see, if
Yeah.
you should where you're at, or who you are, and yeah, I think that's something that benefits all the way around, because then you see too how the experience makes things that are difficult look easy by doing that. You see these guys and you're like, man, yeah, this is another level, right?
Yeah, it's tough business.
So tell us about your team. Describe your team. Who do you have on your team?
Head coach, we have Hector Beltran Senior, and then we also have Carlos Martinez, and then we have for our conditioning, strength and conditioning, we have Karin, um, and then we have Ulises Beltran. He's Hector's oldest brother, I believe. And then we also have Kaiser Gandara, and he helps a lot with the workouts, and he cooks for us too, and he keeps us healthy.
So okay, so
it's,
yeah,
it's a pretty good team.
yeah, you have a full team. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not like you got conditioning, you have nutrition, a chef kind of. That's I mean, that's a good team to have, especially because you don't have to think about a lot of that,
Yeah.
especially when you're having to make weight,
Mhm.
just figuring out what to eat
Yeah.
and what's best for you to for the energy, but yet gonna cut the pounds, right?
Yeah.